to the stream. Good afternoon and good start of the week for all of the people. And maybe I'll start by explaining what I've done since the last stream. So I've been adding this blue line here, which is an indicator for the carbon tax or the carbon price, and there's basically no scale for it now, so it doesn't go from 0 to 6 here, but it's just something, it's kind of like being made fit to stay in the picture. And one of the things that I want to do next is this, have different scales for emissions and carbon price, because now I only have this one scale for total emissions, and also if I want to show these emissions per capita here, it's not, doesn't really play well with this scaling that I have currently. But yeah, and maybe also one thing that I should add for my, I'm gonna add it here for my to this. Okay, so these have been added, so is to make the user interface a lot smaller. Now there's like big fonts here, and I think there's lots of solutions I can do to make this smaller. I think I also want to change this layout so that there would be some kind of dropout menus or kind of like, I don't know, what do you call those, that you click the arrow and then it shows more. Like I have here, like I could do it also like this, that you should click the button and it shows you, it would give you like an extra menu here, but I would like to have one of those things where you very kinda there's this kind of like arrowy thing that you do, but I don't know, yeah, but yeah, then you could because it would be nice to have the graph always visible when you are making choices, and there's gonna be a lot more choices to be made, so that gets a little bit tricky if I want to show every choice at the same time. So it's basically goes so that you only show or look at those you're only shown those choices that you are currently making, basically. So all the others would be kind of like then hidden from your view from taking the space. So yeah, something to handle that. But yeah, let's see what I've been adding. So I had this like that there's a choosing the shape of emission curve, so then there can be this, I've now called it like percentual drop. So I think this name is still like, I'm still like, I'm open for suggestions for better names, so the kind of signify that it decreases by same percentage every time. So for example, if it's like 1% drop, then it's always 0.99 times the previous value, basically. So how to convey that, so that's one thing. So but I have like a same kind of now like a selection for the price curve, that you either have a percentual increase and you can control the increase rate. Okay, you can see already we are getting into problems that if I want to both select here and look at the graph at the same time, it's getting a little bit hard. But yeah, here you can like choose the rate of percentage increase per year, and but yeah, I'm not sure if this is the best way to do, like, but there's also the linear choice. So this would be like straight up like euros. So yes, like €2 per year, and would in both cases it starts at €10 here, but you could also, in the finalized version, you can choose the starting point, and I could also like segment this a little bit more, like have here kind of like this first section would be that choose kind of like starting point, or choose, I don't know, maybe it's not, maybe it's all up until here. It would make sense to, can you see my arrow actually? Yeah, up until here you could like until like emission growth. So this would be kind of like this physical targets and whatnot, and then we would get to this emission price thing afterwards. So what I was thinking about, what would be the best way to kind of like I was talking about that you could hide stuff that you're not currently dealing with, is kind of like that you would hide all the options in this segment after you made the choices, and then this segment would kind of like, because those are hidden, then this segment, this price segment, would be higher up there. And yeah, but yeah, here like the percentual increase, I'm not sure if that's the correct way to do this. I'm also thinking that both in this case and in the emission drop case, that there would be these three basic shapes that you could choose. So the first one would be this percentual kind of like change, like X% from previous year each year, and then there would be this linear selection, and then there would be this kind of how would you describe it, like in case here of emissions, like in kind of like it would be the inverse of this, but I currently don't really know how to draw that. So yeah. So what would be the function? I'm also like trying to think like what's the, so this would be kind of like in some sense the, I don't know if the correct function would be that it's the percentage change is increasing, or should it be that kind of like the linear amount or the amount that has been like that's dropping each year is increasing. Yeah, but I think that would also make these graphs a little less chunky, these land use, or these kind of like land use sync graphs. Yeah. But yeah, this time I think I want to make the kind of like combination of these two that I have here. So the total emission graph, and then this I could also signify this color here maybe for now. Let's see where we have it. Yeah, so let's have a new one here. So so we can have this starts that 2080, and we go so So this would be carbon tax and have it like in euros, and that's gonna yeah, I should use like I think I used like teal blue here. No, what's the, oh, it's cyan, I think. Yeah, so okay, here, so let's have tax is cyan, so I think that this makes it better in the long run, that that I don't have to, because if I want to change the color now, I don't have to change it to, I only have to change it in one spot in the future. So let's try, see what this does. So yeah. So now let's try to calculate so gonna like yeah, but like there's also like I need to calculate both the like average cost per citizen, but then I also want to, can I hide this now? I also want to, and so, sorry, I always forget this, like I should, because I was now writing some code, but I forgot to take this off and so on, like, because what I see here is a bit different than what you see, so I don't know how I'm ever gonna like remember this. Like I see your view here in like a small window for me, but I don't know, somehow maybe if I saw it always in a larger window than it is showing now, maybe that would help, but I don't know. Just trying to make it a little bit bigger, but yeah. So yeah, let's see here. Like I think here we calculate, for example, like this like fossil fuels. So these are like the average emissions per citizen. So I think I can use that to calculate and I have here in the same data set, I have the carbon price here, and for carbon price calculation I used quite similar function that I had for the emission reduction function. So yeah, let's go. So then we get, so what are we gonna call it? Could be just like tax pop. So that would be cost and revenue for carbon tax and revenue per population. So that's like price multiplied by emissions. So here we have the price thing, and this is gonna be even larger value. So let's multiply it by 60 or divide it by 60 for now. So and we have tax pop and color. I think we are gonna need a new color here. So let's have I think I want to like, yeah, at some point I want to make these colors a lot more, I don't know, muted or something. They're pretty like, they're quite bright now. So let's go like 45 and so here 8 and 8, make it a little bit different shape. And so this was tax pop, so let's have it like that. Maybe we could have I don't know, maybe it's also a little bit gonna be a little bit annoying that in one sense it would be good to use these same names for the colors. So it would be like price and so I would have been using here. Let's do it for this one here. But on the other hand, there can be these cases when you get a little bit confused that is this now signifying color or is this signifying the data itself, or and then you can also get those cases where it uses kind of like it tries to use the data as the color, the command, or the other way around. So that's not. So let's have here text pop, and I want to make this a lot smaller now because there's getting to be so much action there in the. So this fossil, just make it smaller, and also gonna make these kind of like especially like these net and fossil emissions. I'm gonna make these more transparent, like to draw the focus away from them. So here's what we get. I think I divided this. Let's see. It's a bit too. It's a bit too like. Let's try to have the same here. Okay, I wonder what's happening. So fossil pop. Okay, maybe the fossil population. Maybe this is too. Okay, yeah, this is pretty because it's divided by like billions of people, so it's not so. So what if we multiply it? Should we multiply it by like 1 billion or something? So see what happens. Let's go better. Okay, I think that seems more reasonable at least. And I'm gonna go ahead and put here 200 and oops. Okay, no. It has to be smaller. So let's put like 5 here. Just trying to. Okay. This starts to make more sense, and I also want to have this on top of everything. I should also start using these kind of like some size function here, so that everything would scale according to the basically the browser size or the window size, because I want to make this work so that you don't have to, because right now if you have like if you go like, if your browser is like this and you go like in the very like this gets so crowded if you're looking at like if you imagine that you have a very low resolution screen, so even if that screen is quite big, it would get crammed. And then again, if you have like a very large screen, then these are very like small. These okay, I'm getting some spam here. Apparently, like there's a phone number there, so that seems that it's spam. So I'm gonna block user. Yeah, it's telling you you're gonna win 500. Okay. So let's see what make this a little bit larger, and okay, now it goes on top. On the other hand, like maybe I want to have brighter colors. I could also like try something like magenta or something here. Yeah, let's go with that for now. So this would be just having these labels here, just so people can. So this would be carbon costs less dividend. So let's make some clarifications here. So this would be euros per ton, and this would be euros per year and per capita. So let's have here, this could be 35, and this would be a 30. And we have this color as taxable. Okay, 30. Makes it smaller. So let's see how it works. So this is basically this carbon cost and dividend. It's basically as a result of the choices. So it's the emissions multiplied by the person. And I had like I did the video on we could actually take a look at the video now first. So let's I'm gonna put this here and play this one. Okay, we got some ads here. So again, this is in Finnish, sorry about that, but so here we have yeah, I was like I had here like basically the costs going up here above the 0, and then I had the dividend kind of like as a negative value here to kind of like signify then that for the average person it's a zero sum game actually, so there's also the line there in between, but I'm kind of thinking that like, do I want to like have only one value here, or like only have the, because it also like it makes the stuff like more it adds like an additional line or graph to the already otherwise that's going to be very cramped graph. So yeah, that's yeah. Also, I'm thinking like that it could be nice in the graph. So I'm gonna add here another to do thing is that graph so those things in the forefront, like if there are segments that are hidden shown, so if there would be that kind of thing that that you made this choice, the budgets and stuff like that, then that stuff would go, because you see it as this like right now this carbon cost thing, it's always on top, and maybe that would be the case also, that it would always stay as the top thing, because it's the result of all those choices. But also thinking that there could be could make it so that when you're choosing this budget stuff, the carbon tax thing would stay behind, but then when you're making choices on it, it would bring it front. So that it could also be like, what's the most recent selection you made? I think that would make even more sense, that the thing that has changed the last would kind of like affect this. So yeah, here's it's kind of like that's showing that okay, going to the maximum here is that so maybe as a long-term thing would be like some kind of guide, some kind of guide thing to show the progression, or kind of like guide about like I was thinking like to have like some explainer blog post at least, and have like explainer video. I think that's also part of my research plan here, but it could also be nice to have it could also be like in the form of some kind of it could be in the form of some kind of info buttons, or kind of like those that if you hover over the so it hover over info buttons, so like here there could be an info button here right next to this label here, and if you hover your pointer over that info button, it would maybe signify text about like where are these budgets from basically, or some explanation about the budget, and maybe some link to some additional information or whatever. And here like maybe some explanation on the start year, that's been like when the carbon tax is kind of like starts, the carbon tax system starts, and the neutrality year when the emissions and things are at balance, and maybe also explain that after that is kind of like explain also that that's the year that when the warming stops, and like the budget is depleted, and yeah, I think there's lots of this stuff that could be very useful to explain, like have explained out in quite a detail, and also like what these curves mean. I think there could be like info buttons everywhere. Yeah, I want to build like some kind of system of, okay, I don't know if I want to go, let's see, about my plans here. Yes, these different scales. I don't know if I want to go, is there still about well, maybe the carbon cost dividending is slow. It's now kind of like at the shapes that you can kind of like move on from it. Also, I need kind of like I need to, let's see, so this would be like a short-term thing, is like new starting values for total and how do you call this, land use. So yeah, that should be done. Maybe I think one thing that also needs to have a like is to have like explanation for CO2 and other greenhouse gases. There's it's of course like explaining those IPCC reports about the carbon budget, but I think like at least for example in Europe we are like it's very centered around all greenhouse gas emissions rather than just CO2, and then again like these carbon budgets, these are very CO2 based, and then there's the assumption on like on how the other gases evolve over time. So that's something to kind of like to focus like something that needs to be explained. But yeah, here you can see like one thing that's gonna be like very common among these carbon cost curves is that there's initial increase like as the tax go well. Oftentimes there's initial increase as the tax goes up, but emissions still stay high. Like and here, but here like in the end like the emissions go so low that you only get like so much income from them. But what's gonna be interesting like to contrast here is that there's gonna be this opportunity to choose individual carbon paths within the system. And that could also be like one point where we put this resulting carbon costing in the background, and also like these carbon budgets in a larger. I don't know. Yeah, there's also lots of this that how much do I want to have explainer text in the graph itself? Like now I have the explainer text for so we're gonna have like a so I'm gonna make a note to put this explainer text here mostly, and maybe leave some numbers here, but these are also a little bit not sure if they're necessary. Like these could also be could be also something that's kind of like optional to yeah, I think I want to figure out a way to have different. This goes quite a lot now on the getting deep into shiny thing. If I want to figure out those, how to have those different labels or kind of like different scales and scale numbers for different things here. It goes and as I was showing here, let's go. Okay, it's getting some more ads here. So here I have here like you can see that how many lines do I need. There's like I'm gonna make a note on what lines I'm gonna need. So necessary axis lines is emissions, then per capita emissions, and then we have carbon tax and carbon dividend. I think that it could also be that it just it would be foremostly like carbon dividend, and maybe in parentheses is that like a average cost for average person, or there could be another line. There could be a line behind. I don't know. They could. I don't know if it's also obvious that if we have like like I like this in a sense that we have here like these two lines. One is for taxes and one is for the dividend, and you can see that they combine to 0. So that's but maybe it's not like necessary if we have like you have the possibility to choose your own path, and okay, it could be also like a possibility to choose X% higher or lower than average emissions. So that could also be like one possible path to go, I think. Yeah, and here like the, I don't know, the carbon tax rate thing, it's also, it's a little bit tricky with if we think about these in the literature, this kind of what do people think are gonna could be optimal tax rates, then or maybe also like tax rates for to stay under some temperature goal. It might be that it's not so obvious how it's drawn for me also. So that's, I don't know, it's a little bit of tangent here, but so I think we also need a line for population. So and that could be kind of optional line, that if you so population, and then maybe like carbon costs, and so, but there will be a but we need to have like the line for so let's say like net line for the individual, so the individual could see where he's going here, and okay, another optional line is the I don't know, okay, I don't know, like the per capita emissions, I think that could be actually an optional line. It's not such a it's not such a important one, I think. I was thinking like, what else? Are there some other things that kind of like, I don't think there's any, like there could be like something that's again like optional stuff, but maybe not nothing major. So yeah, I'm gonna look a bit here, like this is from the video, and here I had like these numerous different lines, and I think yeah, I just had them kind of like multiplied to fit into scale, and let's see. So I'm thinking like how to do these scales so that there are multiple scales and each scales kind of reacts to the values that are used, and I think uh, so I think I have to also at some point change this comment color to a little bit easier one. So I think it should go like set while scale from 0 to 100. So now it basically goes from. So let's have a section for scaling here. I could also write this. I'm gonna write this plan now and over here. So plan for scales need different for different variables. So but I think we need to anchor all of these scales to something. So and there's gonna be for each variable there's gonna be the another so, and I think I want to use 0 to 100 because it's kind of like a percentage scale. It's easy to follow, and so 100 is the maximum value. Another linear scaled. Okay, and that this would go this could go then from 0 to 100. Is the so I think here's one issue that's gonna rise, that do we need to think about the negative scale? Like also I think so one thing that's important here is that so for new variables 100 in for 100 is at value 0 the value so I want to make it so that it's so everything starts at 0 no matter like what variable, so that it makes it easier to read. And so about those negative values, so I think we need to think about that. So size of objects. So here I've kind of used, like in other cases, kind of like those some kind of automation in a sense that, like for example here I might want to have, like if I want to keep these if I would want to keep these for example these carbon tax labels on top of the graph, I would need to have how do you say, like I want to have them relative to the image. I want their place to be relative to the image. So then I want to have for example it would be like on 85% in vertical sense, that it would be at 85% from the bottom of the graph. Like if the graph is 100% tall, I want to have it at 85%. Need to have a variable to place objects at x% height and also length. So this would just take so so here's also like one thing that I'm regarding that, maybe I'm not sure like if the x-axis is it's pretty like how would you say, it's it's pretty it doesn't change, it doesn't have to like stretch maybe, But they could be this that so see X years into the past. So if you want to have these past emissions in the graph, as we do, like now there's only like a few years of space for them in the left hand side of the graph, but how it's gonna be made is that you're gonna see at least some decades of past emissions, because that's very important when you think about the when you think about like the dynamics of these emission reductions, that when you see that okay, the emissions have been increasing quite rapidly until this year, so what's the kind of like then you can think that is it like realistic to assume that there's gonna be this percentual drop of 2.8% per year if the like so suddenly, even if we apply the carbon pricing scheme. So yeah, that's I think that's something to think about here, that how the or that it would help the reader to understand, and also that like the land use sync, it's been quite stable for some decades now, so how fast changes can you assume there? Okay. But yeah, especially with these ones, I think it would make so much sense that we could go beyond 2100. And I think that's somewhat sensible. Like we would set, yeah. Also, I'm not sure if we want to have those as kind of option. Okay, but yeah, let's think about the scale issue here. I'm gonna take this out, so let's see, if we go here, we have all these variables here, and then we have these variables here, and then we would need okay, maybe before the data framing, so if we have like, for example, so we have like a, let's say like T tax pop, so this would be transform tax pop. So so how do we make it so that this has 100 as as a maximum, but it would still remain as similar. So let's see if we can extract the maximum value, and then we divide that value. So we have to figure out what's the so that value divided by x is 100, so we have to solve for x, and that's, so it just divide, wait a minute, we divide by 100 and then we use that. That value to divide everything. So let's see if we have 3000 and we divide it by 100, we get 30, and that would be kind of like, in this case, our like magic number. And if we divide everything by 30, then this would become 100, and then if we had like, I don't know, 300, so this would become 10 and so on. Yeah, I think that so this would be tax box divided by value, and now we just replace this value here. I think you can do it. Let's see. Okay, dots, and then we have dots, and we have max tax pop, and I think we might want to, okay, I think this could, so then we have divided by Xbox. So we put parentheses here. So this is the value that I used the value here for shorthand before. So here we have tax pops divided by this. So this I dot tax pop now refers to this selection that we are, but yeah, I'm not sure how this works. Like, I'm not so familiar with these data table operations that I'm not sure that if this would work. So let's first see if this gives us any error. This built-in object of type built-in. I've never had this error before. Oh, also here, I think this should be max. And yeah, I think this should also be like unique, because there might be some cases where it's multiple and then we would be dividing by multiple values, and that would also break it. Oh yeah, you have to have so I think here we only have I'm gonna take a look on how this, okay, how this let's see if I have here actually. Let's see here on that's bad. Yeah, here I think this is kind of like what I'm getting at. On and then C and then those. So we can just put here, I think that would be year. I don't think there's, yeah, yeah, this is, otherwise this is, should be fine. Okay, that's promising that we didn't get error here, so now we're gonna we are gonna make this to run from, actually it doesn't have, yeah, it doesn't have any limits as at this point, but we want to restrict it to between 100, no, 0 and, no, not 0 either. Okay, we don't have to limit it yet, we can test this otherwise as well, so instead of this we have t tax pop, and now it should basically, like, if this goes correctly, it should go up to 100 and gonna like leave everything behind. So we're not like, it's almost as it we're there, but we're not seeing it for some reason. Like the scale seems to be right now. Is there some kind of thing actually here that it is being restricted for some reason? So what's here? T-tax pop. Why is this super weird? Why is it not showing? Like, I don't see any. So let's see if we, that's also test this. Okay, now it should, yeah, I think there's something weird. Why isn't like the color color is chosen? Like, I don't think the color should be issued, but let's try to, like, because here's also the same color and it's showing here. Could it be something that if we cannot see the, I don't know, cannot see the, So let's just put here green. That's weird. If we do this, color is green. Because I think this now removes more than... What if we take the color option away altogether? Color is... Let's return to this one. Okay, now it's... Oh, okay. I was having this divided by 100 for some reason. So let's try to take the color away. Yeah, then it's not showing, just... I think one option could be that it's... I'm just thinking that it could be... could be that it's... I don't know. Super weird. I'm gonna try the same thing for some other stuff as well. So we have, let's try with the max fossil thing. So we would have the transform fossil as, it's kind of like the transmat fossil divided by 100. Divided by 1, let's see, I'm going to check the math again. The higher the fossil is, the wider the smaller the value there. Yeah, it makes sense. I think it makes sense. So T fossil here. So what do we have here? We have, we try the fos color. No. Somehow I feel that these are like hiding somewhere, these values. I could try also to have them here as kind of like a data table. I could see what's Okay, I'm gonna go check how do you get, like, I think the somehow the why are they invisible? Do I need to, like, what I'm thinking is that somehow if a portion of the value is outside or if one of the values in this kind of line is outside the scale, that could be the reason why it's invisible, but on the other hand, these values themselves, they define the scale, so I don't think this should be. So I'm gonna try to make them as points as well. Okay, there's one point here. Okay, oh, okay, I think this is this is something to do with reason. So we are because we are only choosing one value. We are choosing the maximum value, fossil value here. So I wonder what if we remove this unique, so that we wouldn't, would we then be having like multiples of these values? No, it's still, there's some error also. I wonder, did we get this error before as well? Yeah, okay, I just didn't notice it. That's oh. Okay, I think I want to kind of like segmentize this process a little bit. So we would have this thing called value here, and we would choose like this. Could it also help unique? No. So let's try this. So we put the unique here. I don't think you can do this with maybe not. So like this, and then we take this out and we apply this to everything. So here a value divided by 100, and we don't need this one anymore. This makes it also like simple to understand. So these two lines here. So let's try this now. 15 items. Unique text pop. let's try to take this unique away now. "15 items." Why? What's the 15? Text swap. Could it also be that could it be here? Do we have problem that max? Do we need to have like these? This is sometimes a problem. No. Max. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna help. It's in the wrong place. Max. Okay. Oh yeah, I think we are here. We are a little bit wrong, right? It has to be here because I wonder if that was also the problem before. Did I do this the wrong way around before also? Let's try this one. We're back here. That's max. Okay. Like I try to get like singular value here. Max. Can I don't know if this helps. Text box divided by value divided by no. Oh. Yeah. Do you need group aesthetic? I don't think I need. Should I need? Do I need here maybe? No. That's annoying about this shiny stuff, that it's a little bit annoying to try to find the. Okay, let's have here. Let's see if this works. So can I print here? Can I print out here Xpop? That's gonna like be printed out. Okay. Yeah, I think it prints out here. It's it seems 61, 62, 63, 64. I think that's 53, 51. 51, 54. Could it be that there's somehow it's no. I don't really think that there should be an issue with having like yeah, it's 53 rows, so only one has it seems that like it's only having one, still having like only one. Somehow I'm thinking like does this somehow somehow still keep it in the data table form when I take this value. Can I just let's try to have like as numeric here? I'm not sure if this helps either. I'm also thinking like what's this selection that it goes to like this is like 2055 or something, so why is it that year? I think I wonder if we could, and it remains that year here. Why is it 2055 or something, whatever that is, like here's 26 to 2050, yeah, something like that. So what's the significance of that year? So I wonder if this is also like messing up something still. Could it be because of this? Fossil. Yeah, we're gonna take that out. I don't think this was the issue. Okay, now we're not. Okay, here. Okay, I think this might have been. Okay, yes, good. So, what's this now? Okay. Okay. Yeah, this was a stupid mistake. I was like trying to fix this transform tax dividend by population, but I was all the time it was using this transform fossil values or whatever, and those errors remain. I was like fixing the wrong errors or something, but okay. But okay, this works, but can we make it to work as I'm still gonna try my earlier method because I'm thinking that there could have been a bit of a mistake here. So let's go, and here like that, and max tax pop. No, it doesn't. It has to go like this. It has to go here. I think I was It doesn't. It actually might work both ways. Like here, we take everything and then we take the maximum value. Okay, let's take this out and try this one. I-pisted tax pop not found. Max tax pop. Oh yeah, we have to have the this one, but I don't think this is the. There's some other issue also. What do you mean it's not a data table? It's a data table. Dots and then here. Okay, let's see if I try to put this one here. Yeah, again it's probably like having only. Yeah, I think the issue here is that it's somehow. Yeah, maybe we go with this one. And now I'm thinking that could we do this with some kind of loop. Like create a new variable. But I'm trying to remember if I created like new variables by looping. Also, maybe in the meantime, before I do this, I could also maybe I don't want to loop because it's also issue here that for the fossil fuels or these emissions, I need to choose a highest among so here, like it has to be highest among fossil negatives and no I think negative emissions fossil. What's total? Oh, the net. Okay, the net is coming here. Fossil negatives and net. Like that, and then you go. You can have like TME. Oh, it doesn't. Okay, yeah, it has to. Yeah, it has to be like T fossil, and then here fossil. Yeah, and then we have the same for tnet. And then one more. negatives. Okay. So now we could try so yeah, you can just replace all of this stuff with just like this lines, points. Okay, let's run this. Okay, you see the net emissions are the highest. They start at 100 there. Ooh. Okay, one problem that I'm now thinking that's gonna come up with, let's see. So I'm gonna put this back on now, like here. Like you see here there are these 5 or so 5 or so scales there in the left hand side, and I had to like quite carefully place each of those scales on there so that there's no overlap, and choose like the, and that was kind of like also the way that I chose the values so that there would be no overlap when I place those scales there. So but now it's I don't know if this can actually be solved now. Like the problem now is that because it's easy to do here because this is a static model, so there's no, the y-axis doesn't really live, and the kind of like these paths are predetermined to kind of like fit this thing. But here I think because these paths they're created like organically, there's this issue that the scale markings, if I want to have these scale markings in there's gonna be some, there's easily gonna be some overlap. But I wonder if I can choose, I think one option here would be not, I could just choose like where we have the scale marks for some like so for example we choose that, okay, here where there's this 100 now, this would be the scale for emissions would be here. It would go like 150 and 0. And then the values would kind of like, so the first, like instead of 100 we would have the maximum, so it would be like 42 gigatons, and but that's also a little bit tricky because then I would have to use decimals there as well. I could use like 42 point something, but that's a little bit ugly, and then like it's a little bit ugly with how yeah, because you use the decimal, you have like something like 42.1 in the as the scale value, then like that's like the reader's gonna think about like what's the significance of this, and then like whatever is the half of that, like 41.35 or something. So that's also like what's the significance of this value here, like why are you using this kind of value, and that's, and it might be understandable, but and there's also the other option is that I don't have any scales, but rather that there would be like a touch interface, so that when you, or like a hover interface, so when you hover the mouse over the graph, it would then it tells the value. But also it could be so that when you hover it, it shows the scale when you hover. Like the right hand side scale could depend on it could depend on what you are hovering over. If you're hovering close to the, for example, the carbon dividend graph, then it would show the scale for the carbon dividend, but I think that's it. Could also be that, I don't know, I wonder if we can get some organic scales still to work, and it could be that some scales would show on the background. Yeah, this is something. There are like options, and I think like one maybe benefit here is that the overlap is not so necessary. It could also be interesting to like as a byproduct here to make your own like scaling algorithm. So that it would because R has this, like you can see here, there's like it goes from -50 to 100 and to 100, and there's like a 50 intervals, and okay, you can like go and specify the intervals, but and you can play around with it a little bit, or kind of like you can set it quite manually. That's quite like manual setting then, but like but if you want to set it manually, I think you have to know what the values are. So yeah, you cannot. But if you had like okay, let's think about the scaling here a little bit. So if you had like let's say you have a max value of 42, what would be good scale? Or like, I don't know, ticks. So here, so I think the algorithm should somehow round 42 to 40. It could also round up to like 50, but I mean, how does it do the round? Like it could be first divide by 10, then round up with decimal equals 0, and so this I think this would only work. Okay, this doesn't work. So this could be some length. So it would have to recognize how many I don't know how would I express this even in Finnish, but how many numbers before something like that. So and well, I think I have to think about this anyway, like make this algorithm anyway, that regardless of how this stuff is gonna be hidden or whatever. I think because with R, I think you can have like a maximum of 2 scales, and they have to be on the other, like other scale is gonna be on the left hand side, and other scale is gonna be on the right hand side. So this would help. 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - 1 - 2 - wonder if I want to have a break. I think I should maybe have a break and then maybe come back later today if I want to, if I feel like it. Let's see. Yeah, I think the scaling things we're going into quite a like a big. If I don't know if I want to do the scaling thing now, but it would be nice to do it now. Also, I'm not sure, like, should I change the data structure so that we don't have, I think it has to be changed. I could also like, thinking like one, like in terms of scaling, like would it help, like would it make the scales unnecessary if I had like the starting value for each year? So here would be like this pink whatever, like let's say 100 euros, and then there would be this 42 gigatons and so on, and they would be here. But it's a little bit tricky here because many of these values are at their highest at the same, they're just gonna like start at their highest there. I'm not sure. But I think that's then the issue is a little bit that the scale if there are those cases where the values kind of like shoot up, so we would only know this low value here and we would know this low value here in the end, because then the kind of like it would be the choice that it shows the last values for everything. Then we wouldn't know the middle values, at least like not very precisely. But maybe it wouldn't be too much of any. I'm kind of interesting to try out this thing that I would have, as I said, like give out those first and last values, and then you could hover over for additional information. Then we wouldn't need any like also any lines. But okay, I think okay, maybe it's not good, because that would require me to use the algorithm that specifies the location, and the algorithm is quite slow, and here we would want to have those immediate reactions. But On the other hand, there could be like a workaround if because I know the height of these numbers, so I don't know. Okay, it gets complex. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, but I'm gonna take a break now at least, and we'll see if I come back when I come back. But yeah, this scaling thing is kind of like a new headache for me, and it's not so. I don't think it's so easy issue to solve. But yeah, thanks